Jose M says, "Did you see Bald Witchyverse goat Ethanus Ralphus, Lord of the Sector, to badmouth you?" No, look. Here's the thing. Ethan Ralph is one of these guys who is looking for fights because he needs entertainment, he needs content. But Ethan Ralph and I had a very nice conversation in public and in private. Now, if suddenly he's angry just because, like, when he came on the show, I made him do things like he came on the show and he was noisily kind of streaming, dual streaming. I said, "You got to stop that. Turn off your stream. You can come back in here when you're solo." And he said, "Okay." And he did what I said. And then he was fidgeting with his phone forever, and I was bored of it. And I was just like, "All right, we could do this another time." And I understand that, he felt like I was bossing him around. I don't care. These people are like Vickyverse. Vickyverse, I kind of have a little bit of a relationship with. I mean, I don't care about any of these people. They don't really, they don't mean much to me.
Good evening, everybody. I have no idea if this is working. I am trying OBS for the first time. So welcome to DMV Investigations, where we have a little SD, but a whole lot of balls. Yeah, I'm going to try to stream like a big girl. If you can't hear me, please let me know in the chat. I'm actually paying attention. If everything is good, then whew, my goodness, what a day. What a week. What a couple of weeks. Yeah, it has been a long one. I'm also not sure what's going on with the little chat bot. I think I got kinks worked out, but honestly, I have no freaking clue. I don't know. It's scrolling on my side, so I hope eventually it'll get to you as well. Oh, yes. Hello, Pale Xander. You did catch a stream live. I'm a little late. Actually, I'm a really late. I'm about a week late. Um, I I had some difficulty last weekend. It's not that I didn't want to say anything, but I felt that everything I had to say would be crossing some really big lines. So I had to take some time off. I taught myself OBS. I'm still trying to work out the kinks, and one day soon, the little highlight chat box, I'll figure it all out. But screw it. We just need to get this thing going. So, how is my relationship with Ethan? Asked Kirk Fashy, who, by the way, you do that in my chat one more time, I'll just block you, no matter how much I'd like you to participate. You understand what I mean. Um, what is, well, I think he hates me as much as I hate him. He unblocked me on Twitter so that he could respond to me and try to get all of his little simps to respond. But there were no new ones in the chat, which was interesting. Just the same ones that were already there. But then he blocked me again real quick, so I couldn't reply to anybody else on that branch of the thread because he's a dick and he's bitch made. So, let's say hello. We got Jack Stafford. Hello. Ahoy, Jack Stafford. It's been a while, has it not? And Mike McMahon Art, welcome. Nice to see you again, and I hope you are doing well. We have the fake producer. Morg is in the house, which is always fine. He will keep you guys in line. Morg, don't let Kirk Fashy spell out the N word in my chat or anything else. Yeah, I'm not going to block you now, Kirk Fashy. That's stupid. But I have some, I have standards, and that's one of them. You can guys play in the chat all you like, just make sure it's not those kind of words. Hello, Baz1500. Nice to see you. Ah, boy. So, Liam tried to off himself, maybe, and then came right back to YouTube, which was horrible. The whole thing and the reaction to it was horrible, and I'm gonna get into that a little bit later. There's some follow-up on the H3H3 Ethan Klein lawsuit. Uh, Casey Tron was begging for more money. Very Casey Tron. Camelot's getting, oh, he's getting his ass beat by YouTube right now at the cost of $100 a day. Man, man, oh man. And I think I got some Liam stuff. I got some Tony and Katie. Oh my God, she showed up on Tony's stream a few days ago. I'm not, no, it could have been last week, a few days ago. I don't know. But he was doing some sort of panel show. And Katie's really kind of a bitch, man. Like, honestly, really kind of a bitch. And just, but you know what? No, no, no. You know what I think it is? Katie is specifically stupid. That's all. And we're going to laugh at it tonight. So I'm going to go ahead. Oh, the Ethan Ralph EVS clip from the beginning. I just want to say, when Ethan is sitting there and he's talking about how he put Ralph in his place, and he, because Ralph was streaming and Ethan told him to stop. Well, it took Ethan almost 20 minutes to get the balls to do that. And the reason he did it was because the stream wasn't going his way. And he really, really wanted Ralph to get angry. That's how I saw it when I watched the stream. And I bet you Ethan Ralph would kind of agree with me. And yes, Earwig is mad love. JDA is still weird. He's also short. He's also not human. Like, he doesn't have human facing characteristics. Let's put it that way. Yeah. So that was that about Ethan. So with the Ethan Klein lawsuit, which is kind of fascinating, they're still in court about the subpoena for the records for oh God, for Twitch and Discord, of all the mods, because the mods just were fucking around. And I didn't check, unfortunately. I just now thought of it. Hey, Vicky, you should have checked to see the status of that. But I'm pretty sure it hasn't really moved yet. And so that's the Denims lawsuit. Now remember, there are three. Then there is Morgan. What is her streaming name? My brain is farting at the moment. The little hijabi. Well, she's not exactly little. She never replied. She got an extension to reply to the lawsuit, still has not replied, but they haven't filed for default. So I'm thinking, and it's the only thing that really makes sense, and I passed this at a lawyer, and he agreed that the chances are good that they're doing some sort of bargaining behind the scenes, trying to come up with some sort of settlement before she ends up with a default judgment for however much, at least $100,000 that Ethan Klein is suing her for. And then we get to Casey Tron. Casey Tron is the only one seemingly truly fucked right now, because her case is moving forward. And I'm sure Denims and Ethan Klein have come up with something about, some agreement because of the settlement. But Casey Tron's out there on her own. She's got a lawyer. She shares a lawyer with Denims and Frogan. There's her name. Yay, it finally came to me. They all share an attorney across all three lawsuits. But Casey Tron is the only one it's still going forward. Everything's been uh, given dates so they know when hearings are, they know when the trial's supposed to be, they know what the schedule is for gathering evidence, doing depositions, and all that kind of thing. But this was her on stream recently.
So, first of all, my intention of this statement is not to blame Ethan Klein or accuse him of malicious conduct. So, please refrain from making any hateful posts about him. If he believes he has a copyright claim, he is entitled to pursue it. My intention is to shed some light on the financial strain this is causing me and my family, and also why I made a settlement offer to Ethan. Ethan Klein is suing me for $150,000, which is the maximum damages for malicious copyright infringement. I believe it is highly unlikely that a court would find me liable for copyright infringement at all, and certainly not malicious copyright infringement. My offer was tied to the maximum damages for normal copyright infringement, which has a maximum damage of $30,000. Considering it is unlikely there are any damages at all that I could have caused, even if I am found liable for copyright infringement, my offer of $17,500 felt very generous.
Okay, real quick, the damages for copyright infringement are statutory. Now, he could choose to take less if she's found guilty. They could reach some sort of settlement, you know, but they're statutory. They're laid out. That's just what he gonna get when he wins because you sat there and said that you were gonna your purpose was to take views away from Ethan Klein, which is copyright infringement because he actually went through extra and had it copyright registered with the Copyright Office. And hello, Aldous. It's nice to see you.
For me, that is a lot of money, and it would have come directly from my own pocket. Since this lawsuit was announced, it has resulted in a barrage of hate and harassment that has been incredibly mentally taxing. Every day across all of my social media, I am relentlessly reminded that my life could be ruined, that myself and my family could wind up living on the streets, that Ethan is going to foreclose on my home. All realities that feel very real to me right now, and all being used by hateful onlookers to push me into killing myself. The thought of dealing with the constant doxing, threats to my life, and harassment for another year is extremely dark. This treatment wears on a person, and it has left me feeling extremely drained, isolated, and depressed.
All right, I forgot to unmute my mic. So, for years now, these last few years, all these Hassan orbiters have been reveling in Ethan Klein and his wife's pain. They he had a head, an actual human head, sent to his house. He's had CPS called on him I don't know how many times now, right? They send death threats. It's lots of anti-Semitic nonsense on top of it. And he's been dealing with this like an adult, and he doesn't cry on stream. I doubt the behavior of Ethan Klein's fan base changed all that much aside to get a little bit more aggressive with bitch you gonna lose.
I've changed my GoFundMe goal to better reflect the cost of this sort of litigation. Again, these funds are exclusively for my lawyer fees. This is not money that will go towards any sort of settlement or to any of my personal expenses. Please consider donating or even signing up for a monthly donation. Check out any of my links below. You can also support by tuning into any of my live streams and social media. Even just some positivity in the sea of negativity means everything right now. Thank you all so much for listening to my side of the story. And again, thank you all for the love and support. Okay, that's all I had to say. And yeah, obviously, I'm reading from a script. Like, obviously, it was something that I wrote. And I don't know, like, I don't wanna be, like, criticized for, like, coming on camera and, like, crying and shit because it's not something that I want to do. Like, I've been put in this position where this is what I have to do to survive.
Yeah, to survive. This is what she has to do. You see, she has an entire family to take care of. She has a disabled mom. She has like apparently her entire family is on disability. She probably would be too if she wasn't making a salary from Twitch and being far past any limits. And so that, honey, is what we call something you should think about before you go and fuck around. Because now your family's gonna find out. Sorry. And then let's go ahead and we're just gonna cover this Camelot thing real quick. Because this is another sort of like, oh gosh. I'm gonna hide the chat here real quick so you can see my oops. I guess not. So Camelot is looking at 10K in chargebacks that he found out about through YouTube, and they're dinging him $100 a day. Apparently, somebody refunded super chats. They had to have filed a claim with YouTube about fraud. So who knows? Maybe it was some kid had his dad's credit card, and dad got a little pissed off, or maybe someone needed to pay their own mortgage and realized that $10,000 is something I need. Maybe they lost their job. I don't know, but somehow he managed to get his money refunded. Great, right? For the guy who got refunded, but not so good for CamelCast. And this has been going on for about a week now. And he says, I feel like I'm in the twilight zone. YouTube tells me you can't appeal chargebacks, but their own information says you can. And of course, Nick Rekieta replies to this tweet with, you need to sue. You need to sue him. Sue him. Sue him. And I looked at the screenshot that he gave, and it actually says, when YouTube withholds or adjusts your earnings due to a violation of terms, including monetization policies, they will notify you and provide details on how to appeal. That is much different than YouTube charging him and getting their money back from a chargeback on Super Chats. Those are completely different things. And Nick Rekieta read that and said, yep, it's the same. Because, Nick Rekieta is kind of a non-practicing, unlicensed now dipshit of a lawyer. Because when you look here, this is from Mike Wheeler. I found it on, he sent that to me, is they don't have to tell you. Their own policy says they don't have to tell you. And I don't know how much simpler it can get than we get to do this at our discretion and fuck you. Now, is it a good policy? It is for YouTube. It's not so great for streamers, and all the streamers were freaking the fuck out. You had Lol Keemstar flipping out, and if they made money on YouTube and depended on YouTube money, they were stressed. But this is not new. This is not new. It was just a huge fucking amount. Do you think if it had been like $10 a day, it would have been that big of a deal? Well, maybe by the time you get to $300 at the end of the month. But a slow trickle, they're not going to notice. But $100 a fucking day, yeah. But that's what happens when your entire when your life depends on revenue controlled by another entity like YouTube. Anywhere on social media, this is going to happen to you. You're not actually selling a real product. I mean, it's a virtual product. Just like your money is virtual money until it's actually in your pocket and YouTube decides they don't want it back. It's just the way shit happens. And it's that's everybody else in the world has to worry about refunds, apparently, except for YouTubers. I don't know. I think it's kind of fucked that they take that much money, or at least they don't say if there's like a threshold, we're going to be taking this much money from you a day. But man, just don't fight it, dude. Go back on stream. Earn those super chats back from somebody. That's your life, right? It's how you're making your money. Cause that car racing shit ain't doing it. Like that's not gonna support you. Your YouTube supports your car racing, and you just got a new fucking car, I think. So, you know, sorry you don't have it, and sorry you may have to put your house up for sale. But it's what you signed on for. You if, if you don't read the fucking agreement, you can't bitch when they follow the agreement and you don't know about it. Just my extra cents. You know, that's just kind of common sense, isn't it? But then again, my mom always said common sense is the least common of the senses. And you see that a lot on YouTube, and you especially see it in our little corner in our ecosystem over here in Comicsgate. Yeah. You had EVS is going to be moving different going into 2000 going into 2026. Ethan will definitely be moving different, he says. I don't know. We'll have to see, but this is what he said.
This year, for 2026, when I am this year for 2026, when I'm spearheading this new movement, and the Comicsgate movement, I feel like the Comicsgate movement is over. Well, Comicsgate, isn't. I thought about that for a while. I'm like, is Comicsgate still a movement? I think it was a movement in 2018, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23. SJW's largely got their asses kicked, and there just isn't so much of a fight anymore between SJWs and normal people in comics. They're just the gender issues, the race swaps of 2018, 2017, 2018, 2019, they're dead. We beat them. We beat those people. So now Comicsgate is mostly, it is an opportunity for people who were blacklisted from comic books to continue to make comics. People who still want to make comics, who maybe aged out a little bit, who are conservative, identified as conservative, were canceled, blacklisted, etc. It's an opportunity to make comics and crowdfund and all that stuff. And it's a nice club. It's a nice community for mostly right-leaning conservative creators. I like it a lot, but there's no real activism going on anymore. We're getting to the point where it's becoming clear to me that like the Kickstarter boycott is I don't know if it's necessary anymore, considering what Indiegogo has done. Indiegogo has made their platform so incredibly difficult, so incredibly complicated. Everybody's complaining about it. Like it's very difficult to launch anything on that platform anymore. And also, they've announced that they too will be discriminating politically against people who are, I think, right-leaning.
Nowhere have I seen Indiegogo say that they are going to be discriminating against people based on their political ideology. Nowhere. This is something he's just pulling out of his ass, but I'm going to show you, I think, maybe where he thinks it's coming from.
I think if I played white ass N-words going hard as fuck, I think I would be discriminated against for some reason. So one of the biggest complaints that
That's all he wants to do, you guys. He just wants to be able to use the N-word on all of his live streams. That's it. He just wants to be there on stream doing Trash Cast for 3 hours, all about Eric July and using the N-word.
I've heard from people is that they wish that we would promote Kickstarters Right now I'm doing this. I can't speak for everybody, but right now I'm doing this. I'm mostly interested in 2026 in a couple of things. I'm interested in everybody getting along if we can. I feel like all of my enemies lie before me in a pile of rubble. There's still a few, but most of them have been pretty soundly defeated at this point. I want everybody to kind of get along in 2026, and let's get back to making comics. Less fighting, less arguing. Let's see what commonalities we have, what interests we share, and let's move forward in that way. Second thing is finding new ways to get our comics out to the mainstream. And there are a lot of people who are just kind of like, they hate the mainstream. The word mainstream means the left to them, and that's not what mainstream means.
I'm sorry. Is there anybody in the chat that thinks mainstream comics just means the left? Or that the mainstream just means the left? Because I don't think about it that way, personally. I don't think about mainstream entertainment just being the left. I ignore the entertainment I don't like. But does anybody think that mainstream comics are just the left, but not? It's just a dumb way of putting it, and I think my brain's a little fried to explain how incredibly stupid I think it is.
Mainstream means what's popular. The mainstream is what is popular at any given point.
No, no, no. Mainstream is not just what is popular. Mainstream is Fox Studios and Warner Brothers and Disney, and in comics it's DC and Marvel. It's not just what's popular. They make money with what's popular. They're chasing what's popular and they want their product to become popular. But no, mainstream is just the big fucking companies. Indie is the little guys doing it by themselves. We all know this. Except for New CG, apparently, that buys this garbage.
That is what it's all about. That we need to actually get there. We need to put our stuff, our comics, where people, normal people who are just browsing comic books are reading them. Now, I have a plan to do that. I have a plan to do that without relying on any distributors that might be compromised. Okay, I have a plan to do that. So we're going to be doing that in 2026. Angela Schmalky says you can stream on TikTok and sell your books. Yeah, maybe I will. I don't know. I don't use TikTok at all.
Why not? We're how many years into Comicsgate now, and you're on Twitter and you're on YouTube? Why aren't you on fucking TikTok? Why don't you have an Instagram? Where is marketing? Suddenly, now you're going to start marketing yourself somewhere besides Twitter?
I don't use TikTok at all, but maybe I will. I'm gonna move over to Rumble. We're gonna expand a little bit. We're gonna do some pretty good stuff.
Dude, you didn't even think about going on to TikTok. How good can your ideas fucking be? How good are they? One of your super chatters had to mention TikTok. You can make money on TikTok, Ethan. Did you not know? It's just so insane. I think that was pretty much it. That was all I had for that clip. But my God, why are you not already there? He's not going on Amazon. He's not going to use Amazon, which is like one of the biggest digital marketplaces he could drop his fucking books. Tim, Mark, Doug Ernst, I believe. I think he's on Amazon. But I know Tim and Mark have had great success. great success on Amazon. It's how they ended up in fucking Japan, in Amazon Japan. And Ethan's not going to use it because it's compromised. It's possibly compromised. And they may kick me off because I'm right wing. So are Tim and Mark. Amazon doesn't give a fuck about your politics. Amazon will let you put anything on their goddamn site. He's going to move to Rumble so he can say the N-word whenever he wants and not have to worry about YouTube. His revenue stream over there won't be very good. He could try TikTok. He could stream on Instagram as well. He could stream on Facebook. He could be streaming to multiple platforms all at the same time, including Twitter, which he doesn't do. And he pays for it. He's paying for StreamYard. Probably paying a lot of money for StreamYard. It's very easy to multi-stream using StreamYard. So he's going to come up with his own distribution plan, which I assume means cold calling local comic book shops and begging them to check out your product and stock it in their stores. And oh yes, here you go. It's going to cost you like 15, 20 bucks a book. Don't worry about making a profit because you're not going to be able to sell it at those kind of prices. But yes, according at Tehillim29, Billy Tucci does use Facebook. He does. Oh yeah, JDA's writing AI book slop now. Yeah. Ethan's been fucking around with AI, making little videos. And he sits there, and I heard him say, I've spent all day doing this. And it's like, dude, you should have spent all day drawing. All day drawing. What do you mean you're fucking around with making AI videos? What the hell? Yeah, Ethan does need a business manager. I doubt he can afford one too, Colonel Morg, but it would, you know, Andrea was supposed to be the business one, right? But either she just washed her, just brushed off her hands and said, nope, not doing it anymore. Or she doesn't even offer advice. Or if she offers advice, I wonder if he even listens to it. But I know she doesn't do retail. Like, retail's not her ballywick. So I don't know that, she would have much to offer. But dude, 6 years. It's been 6 fucking years. Man, and now you're gonna go off to Rumble and maybe do TikTok because somebody mentioned it? Really? This is the Sistine Chapel. Here's another shot. The Sistine Chapel took 4 years, people. Took him 5 years to do the altar at the end, years later when he was in his 60s. This was painted upside down and was done in less time than it has taken Ethan to do Rainbow the Brute. Not only that, right? So you got the Sistine Chapel. This is the Sears Tower. It's no longer called the Sears Tower, but I'm calling it the Sears Tower. It's like the Willis Building now. From the time the land was bought to the time the building opened, it took 3 years. 3 years. Look, view to this is Rainbow the Brute. We're still waiting 4 years on. And it's not even done. But it's going to be a masterpiece, people. It's going to be a masterpiece. I wonder, and he talks about, using IGG is just gonna get all horrible. And let me see here. Let me dump that up here. I'm gonna have to transition again.
This year,
This
for 2020.
All right, I set the videos to autoplay when I hit transition because it was easy. But this is Indiegogo. Respect the rights of others. You may not threaten, abuse, harass, defame, or engage in behavior that is libelous, tortious, obscene, profane, or invasive of another's privacy while you are using their platform. Yet another rule. I guess defaming, harassing, and being profane towards July would be considered his political proclivity at the moment, because that seems to be where we're at. That's all it is. Kickstarter is not going to take him, just like Mike Wheeler said during the video. They're not going to do it. Not. He's got how many open campaigns? I doubt Indiegogo's gonna really want him to open another one too, unless he's got some really good explanations for why everything's so fucking late. Why everything has been so late. Because that's what they want now with their onboarding process. They want you to give them updates on all of your campaigns. And I wonder how Malin's feeling about the whole, yeah, we're gonna start using you don't have to not use Kickstarter anymore because IGG is just gonna be so mean about our politics. Malin. Maybe that's part of the rift now. Maybe that's part of the talk. Maybe it goes beyond just the Graham Nolan, Andy Smith thing, since they all use Kickstarter as well. I have no idea. I just know that the Kickstarter ban is pretty much over. I mean, it wasn't a stupid idea in the first place or anything, right? Yeah, we all know. We all know.
Katydid, everybody. What's up, Katie? You sent me the question. I'll read it. It says, why lie about the King's Room comment? You don't know what goes on there, so why lie? What comment did I lie about, Katie?
You said that after I did my billing speech that apparently I got my nose smacked with a newspaper in the King's Room.
So me saying apparently, which doesn't trigger to you that this is me basing it on information of you being very hyper aggressive to very hyper calm and wanting to move on. You don't think how I could have made the correlation between those two actions and then figured the only people you listen to are Ethan and the Kings, and so they must have at some point said something to you. You don't see how I could have jumped to that conclusion?
I'm sorry, you're going to have to say that again. You broke in and out. I'm moving to a different area to get service.
Okay. So you were hyper aggressive on.
Once again, another technical issue for Katie when she hops on a stream. One of these days, she's going to get this all right. One of these days, she's going to stand next to her fucking router with her telephone instead of trying to do it from the back of the house.
One stream. Then a day later, you were trying to move on and wanting to not deal with anything. So you don't see how I could have made the conclusion that the only person you listen to is Ethan. And so somebody in the King's Room, possibly Ethan, must have told you something. You don't see how I could have came to that conclusion.
No, but I will clarify with you, nobody in the King's Room said anything to me. It's a professional room, and they don't know about anybody's business. No.
Ethan said something on stream. He made a comment on his stream, by the way. Just so you know, I couldn't find it. I couldn't be asked to look through the 20 million streams that I've looked at, but yes, Ethan had made a comment about Katie being, as Tony put it, overly aggressive with her DMing him.
And I have not even talked to Ethan, so.
Okay, so Bear wants to come in and talk to you, Katie.
I don't want to talk to Bear. I'm here to talk to you.
Okay. So,
So
again,
will you admit at least that you were wrong in that conclusion?
I've said it several times. I don't know what goes on in there. This is the conclusion that I've jumped to based on the evidence in front of me. If you say it doesn't happen, it didn't happen, then I suppose it didn't happen.
No.
It's really
It's a
weird though. So
professional
I would
room.
could you at least explain how you went from I'm going to destroy you to I just want to move on in 24 hours?
Yeah, because I was angry and I just thought, well, you know, if I keep getting angry about it, it's just going to get worse. So I just decided it's best I walk away.
So, and at what point did you actually walk away? Because you've still been in chats, you've still been talking about it. You mentioned me today.
Oh, that was the best question. It was so good. Well, if you're walking away, walk the fuck away. I don't even like Tony. I gotta tell you, like, he really stuck it to her. Oh, and I didn't crop up this stream and splice it around because I really liked his background. Sorry. The colors just amused me.
Yeah, because of the situation with George. Yeah.
So you don't feel how that might exacerbate the situation or get the situation to be highlighted and talked about more?
Well,
Yeah, sorry you guys, but part of this conversation involves the Blue Muppet. Just giving you a warning.
same with you with the King's Room. Can you at least understand why I would get that impression that this is the first time George has been a little rude, and it's weird timing.
Is it really? You must not have been paying attention to George because I think almost all the time he's rude about, hey, Katie, could you read the book already?
No, he was a little rude to this morning. It was very.
All right, so I'm going to give you a little background here. Yes. So, 2 years ago when Katydid first joined Comicsgate, George Peter Gatsis sent Denali's book to Katydid to review. Katydid has not reviewed it. I don't know if Katydid continues to promise to review it. That is something I'm not positive about, but she did say she was going to. I think she said she's going to do it some more. Don't worry though. I will. I promise, George, I will get it done this week. It's just it's been rough. It's been rough. According to George here, she's come up with multiple excuses why she couldn't read the book and give a review. Now, I've seen what Katydid considers a book review, and pretty much all you're gonna get is, I liked it. The pictures were pretty. It was good. So, you know, I know, George, you really want her to review the book. Though I think at this point, you just want her to be doing what she promised. And as a promoter, promoting books, which is what Katie says she does, she should be, I don't know, reading and reviewing the ones that she has been sent, the ones that she requested. If you're going to review it, then review it.
Unusual, George. So.
And you're saying it's not
well,
true.
I came to conclusions based on evidence, and I thought that George was being a little unnecessarily rude because I imagine that you probably have told George that I'm a piece of shit or something. So that's the conclusion I came to, Tony. So
I think George came to that conclusion himself after 2 years of you promising to review Denali's book, and you still haven't.
I apologize. So why can't you do the same for telling a lot of people what goes on in a King's Room when you have no clue?
So again, you
and
said
by the way, I want to cover this too. So you kind of, for some odd reason, decide to talk about the Ethan voice messages thing. So I want to clarify some things. So I went back to my DMs with Ethan to make sure that I know that what I knew was right or incorrect. So I went back in the DMs, and it did show where I sent voice messages, and then he said, "Please stop. My wife would not be happy to hear a woman crying," or something. And I said, "Okay," and I left it at that. I didn't say nothing else.
I so want to know how many fucking voice messages she dropped in those DMs. Like, how many? And why are you dropping voice messages? Just type, bitch. Just type. And Ragnari9368, I have no idea why so many of them are just horrible. It's a good grift. It's the kind of thing that really I can see appealing to a lot of people with mental illness, people with a bit of megalomania, with narcissism. You get fed so much dopamine when you stream. And a lot of people are, I think just addicted to that. So.
And then he sent me a message right after that, an encouraging message. I won't go into detail of it because that's private, but pretty much he was saying that everything was going to be okay. So I know that you put out there that apparently I continued to DM him after that. No, once he said that, I respected and understood completely what he was saying, and I stopped immediately. And then that's when I just said, okay. And then he sent me an encouraging message. So I just want to clarify that.
Now keep in mind, earlier in the stream, she said she had not talked to Ethan about it at all, or hadn't communicated with Ethan about this at all.
I never once said, and I even clarified and said, Katie did not send inappropriate messages to Ethan. That's 100%.
No, you said I was being inappropriate.
No, I didn't. See,
Ethan.
again, you're not listening, just like a lot of people. What I said was, Ethan went into the group chat and said it would be inappropriate for you to send me those messages and have my wife see them pop up. And
They're
other
not.
people
He was
had
not in
commented
the
on
group
it.
chat for that. No. No, no, no. No, no, no.
Again, you're getting hung up on words and not actually
No,
listening to the
you're getting
context of
hung
the
up
words.
saying that he showed up in a DM group that you and I are in. No. No,
Yes.
he wasn't part of that group. No, he wasn't. No, he
Yes,
wasn't.
he wasn't part of that room, but he was part of another room that we were in. We were in several rooms together, Katie.
Well, he never
Why
said
would
that
I
in
know
any
this?
of the rooms.
So
If
how did I
you
know any
think
of this?
that's what he said in those rooms, then I would like for you to find that and send it to me and show me. Because as far as my memory serves, I don't remember him ever coming into a group chat and saying that. Now, I shared you guys what was discussed because, like I said, that was a horrible day, and you told me my children.
This was this was her horrible day. Her horrible day.
Spaces were doxxed and all this stuff. So,
They were.
you know, they weren't.
Okay, so apparently Tony told Katie that Ein had posted her kids' pictures on Kiwi Farms, and that is what this whole argument, this portion of the argument, becomes about.
They were.
No.
Yes, they were, Katie. Just because
No.
Dark Gift contacted Ein and he fucking took the picture off of Kiwi Farms and then went around.
You
and
can't
posted
take
later on
pictures
in the
off
world.
Kiwi
Yes, you
Farms.
can. When do you not know how forums work, Katie?
No, I don't deal with forums, Tony, because I'm not a fucking incel idiot.
You put a message on the forum and then you could edit that message.
Well, okay. Well, how about if you think that's happened, then you pull.
There's a lot of people. There's a couple of different people on the stream tonight, aside from me not being able to get my chat highlight thing to work. But a couple of people that I'm highlighting that really have not, don't have much of an understanding of the internet and how things work. So
you go on Kiwi Farms and find the picture and pull it up.
How could I, if they edited it and took it off? How would I pull it up?
It's not been edited. It's been sitting there. Lucky that I even had the date to help, because we would be sitting there for hours. Well, we sat there for 2 hours and showed me everything because it was one of my biggest worries. And when I noticed none of my children's faces, sorry, I get emotional talking about this with my kids. I was relieved they weren't there. So, but regardless, the point is, yeah, it was a hot mess that day. Yeah, but sorry, I would remember that if he came in a group chat and said that, I would remember that.
She would remember that. It was the worst day of her life. Her kids' pictures were up on Kiwi Farms, and she had to spend hours. So the hours she spent on Kiwi Farms looking for a post that was only a couple of, like, hours old, which is sort of bizarre, right? Like, how long did it took her 2 hours to find the post? The one that happened that day? Huh? It's at the end of the fucking thread, you stupid cow. Yeah, you can there's a window of opportunity to edit posts on Kiwi Farms. And it always says edited at the bottom. Like it just like on Twitter. Like you get a little edited notification in the post. Yeah. Yes. But she knows for sure she didn't miss anything while she was spending those hours on fucking Kiwi Farms looking for her kids' pictures by Ein. Posted by Ein. Who's a total piece of shit, by the way. You know, he just is. A complete and total piece of shit. But she started crying some more. It was more of this argumentation thing that she does where she doesn't tell you what she's saying. She talks around everything. She blind items shit. And she's doing this with Tony, and Tony's just like, yo, just stop. And she just keeps doing it. Your narrative without ever explaining what Tony's narrative was. And this is not me being on Tony's side, because I thought Tony said some dumbass shit during this stream too. Right? He's big into guilt by association, and I don't agree with that at all. Like, it, well, I take that back. I think who you choose to hang out with does reflect on you. Who you choose to follow to a certain extent. But you can't just stop people from doing stuff on the internet. You can't. You can talk until you're blue in the face about how stupid doing certain things is, and they will continue to do the same stupid thing. Always. Always. Just look at Liam. Yeah. Yeah. I'm going there. What I saw during Liam's trip to Brisbane was some of the most toxic familial interaction I'd seen in a while. I was truly disgusted by the fact that they were going on a family trip and Liam was doing live stream after live stream after live stream. I saw that little girl with ketchup all over her face and in her hair because she needed a nap, being told to do fake sword katas to calm down. I watched Liam lie. I watched Liam bend the truth. And the whole time, he's on a family fucking trip, dragging all of them into his drama. And then on the upside, I got to listen to his kid drop an F-bomb in the middle of the mall as Liam points to some fat woman and calls her a fucking whale. Which is a great thing to teach your kid, by the way. I've got to say, it's just a fabulous thing to teach your child. I wondered what happened to the Joey that they were supposed to be taking care of. It just suddenly got to, like, live on its own for a few fucking days. I don't know. And then Liam comes back and he does his The End stream. Again, Liam does this. Now, unlike some others, I don't think Liam had any intention of not going through with it when he did that video. I think the front of Liam's brain wanted him to self-delete. And the back of Liam's brain, the part that isn't fucking crazy, stopped him. People with mental illness and suicidal ideation try multiple times. There are multiple. I was reading study after study with this whole Liam thing, that they will try multiple times these aborted attempts, whether they're stopped by somebody else or they're stopped by themselves. And I think that is where Liam was at. I know some of the behavior after is questionable as fuck, but I also think that's just Liam's problems. That's Liam's mental problems. After he was found, his wife did a video. The second one, not the first one, where they were where he had her talking about the fucking tracing. Like, goddamn, dude, just stop. And I'm listening to Liam's wife, and she's talking about the progression. Basically, she's talking about the progression of Liam's spiral. And she knew it, and she saw it. And she knew what was coming. And I just got this sick feeling in the pit of my stomach that that poor woman had no idea what to do. I know. Lots of people, their mileage is going to vary greatly from mine. I get it. I do. But I don't. Maybe it's because I'm a woman. Maybe it's because I've had to deal, like, in real life with people with issues. I don't know. I just know that Liam is unwell. And my doing this stream here is going to send him into a whole nother little thing. I get it. But damn. Before we even knew if Liam was okay, you guys, this community was on streams fighting with each other about who was fucking responsible. And it was sick. It was gross. Before you even knew if he was okay. Jesus, people. And you know, surprisingly, and credit where credit be due, the only ones that didn't open their mouth were Raptor and Pan, at least publicly. I'm sure they were saying shit in Discord, but publicly, Raptor and Pan were the only ones who didn't fucking say anything. And Risey was being a goddamn adult. Risey. Well, Sin and Grift, I saw you there. TJ, all those motherfuckers. All of them arguing and yelling at each other about whose fault it was, and it's not my fault, but you have some responsibility. And it was just gross. Just gross. You had, oh God. You had Cynic does this stream Let the dragging begin tonight on Kingstream. We watch a crash out and cover the hoax of Liam. Well, fuck you, Sin. You have no fucking idea. You don't know anything about this community. Not really. You pretend you do, you think you do, but you don't. You don't really know about Liam. I listened to you on another fucking stream saying that you're still not gonna stop. Dude, you've been trying to run him into the ground for months now, proclaiming it proudly. I'm gonna make Liam my lolcow. It's not the way it works, for one. But god damn, every fucking stream, we're doing a manga stream, let's talk about Liam. We're doing a lolly stream, let's talk about Liam. We're doing a movie stream, let's talk about Liam. Every fucking stream for months, just like JDA used to do. Months ago, I warned y'all. I warned you all that Liam was on his way. And none of you listened. Not a single fucking one of you. Instead, I get this, Vicky's talking about Liam. Well, yeah. Yeah. I'll talk about Liam when lies are fucking blatant. You know? But I don't sit there night after night, stream after stream, hour after hour, bashing Liam. Not only that, I don't spend that time lying about Liam. Sin does. Sin doesn't care if it's the fucking truth. And then, Billy Tucci. Good morning, guys. Listen to Scotsman and give Liam some slack. He's got a lot of problems, and Scotsman is a good friend. That one chat on a live stream sent fucking Matt Barr spiraling, and he turned it all into how it's about him. Crazy fucking shit. Well, Liam said this, Liam did that. Oh, sorry, hurt your fucking feelings, Matt Barr. Have a fucking triangle, dude. Just stop. One of these days, Matt, some employer in the mainstream, because he works for people and companies with big fucking budgets, mainstream, not indie, is going to look at his fucking social media. Somebody's going to Google him. And any month now, Matt Barr, who's the only one in this entire community who has anything to really fucking lose by being canceled, going to be canceled. I mean, Jesus. Google yourself now, Matt. Your fucking posts on Kiwi Farms, your constant spurting about people on stream, on Twitter, in chats. All you do is fight with people and say the most outrageous, stupid, ill-thought-out shit. And bruh. And then you got Liam. Liam tweets that he's out of the hospital. He's not going to be responding to anything for a few days because he needs R&R, and not 2 hours later, he's fucking live on his channel again. Junkie fucking behavior. Even though he's, quote, straight edge. That's mental illness. That's having no fucking impulse control. None. None at all. He comes back, he's streaming from a, quote, shed on the property. It's not a shed on your property, Liam. It was a corner of your goddamn kitchen. Dude, you live on a 1,000 square meter lot, and the house takes up most of it. There are no outbuildings. There's your house and your yard. and a fucking garage. Now, I'm not gonna drop pics. I'm not gonna dox your house. But I've seen the satellite pictures, dude. I've seen the old real estate listings. You don't own a farm. You have a house. Just stop. Stop trying to make everything grander than it really is. Just be you. Just be Liam. Instead of trying to make Liam into something else. Because you've been doing that going on 6 years in this community now. And then, oh, gosh. And then there's this stupidity from fucking Sin.
We're all YouTubers here, right? Every
That's
one of us.
assuming he's in one.
You thought it would.
Every one of us are YouTubers, right? All of us.
Yeah.
How
No,
do
never.
hashtags work?
They help make your videos trend.
How do you do them? Like, are they automatic, or do you
No,
have
they're
to
not
manually
automatic. You
put 'em
have
in?
to
Shut
insert
up,
them
Sid,
in-
man. Sorry.
You have to insert them into your description. That's the only way that it works. Tags you have to do
manually-
individually. Hashtags you have to put them in. Yes,
You have
every
to
single
manually
video.
put in every individual hashtag every fucking time. There is no rollover. There is no automatic shit. I want y'all to look at the fucking hashtags.
Also, I don't personally believe you could copy and paste either, because I
can.
feel like most.
If you
can,
copy
the
and
hashtags
paste that,
still
no,
work.
unless you go through a hashtag aggregator, you do that. If you copy and paste them, they roll into one hashtag. I tested it
Yeah.
today.
That's
No,
what-
I
well,
do it.
that's
I
what
do it every.
thought.
I do it every live stream.
Where are you copying and pasting them from? Just a note?
Both. No, both. I go from video to video.
Would you put in any of your fucking links, any of your fucking shit? Why would you even do that? And build a
Yeah,
description?
that is weird.
You want to have a big audience if you're. Come on.
Really? So commentary, conquest, comics, comedy is what you're gonna put in there?
No, here's the thing. He clearly copy and pasted from the last stream to this stream. Now the question is, on this type of video, why would you?
Now, I don't know about you guys. You ever looked in your YouTube studio? There are defaults. As a matter of fact, when I scheduled this stream, I copied the exact same stream I had before. When I used YouTube Studio to schedule my stream, it brought forward my defaults, the ones that I had put in my YouTube Studio as default descriptions for every single one. I have all the same hashtags that are going to be in every single fucking video, plus the ones I add. Sin only looks at StreamYard. When you schedule through StreamYard, it now has this little promo message. And because that promo message is in the description, it wipes out any defaults you may have, which is why Dark Gift, when he schedules his streams, has to copy everything and put it in the new one because it doesn't roll over. So no, you are not a YouTuber. You didn't even know. Have you looked at your YouTube studio? If that's how deeply you looked into the tools of what you are using to communicate with people on the internet, how do you expect me to accept that you've looked into what you're saying about people on the internet? Because I don't. I don't. Even reading a Kiwi Farms thread is not going to tell you the truth. Just doesn't. Not really truth. And yes, I know, Dark Gift. I was about to mention that. It was brought to Sin's attention that by somebody else, it wasn't Grift, it was somebody else, that there are defaults in YouTube Studio. But Sin was still trying to rock hard with the, oh, but these were in that video. Yeah, the one he scheduled through YouTube Studio with his fucking phone. Copied the defaults. If I was about to off myself, I probably wouldn't think to not copy the defaults. I wouldn't even take that extra step. It's just dumb and stupid. But even more dumb and stupid is this.
The fucking floods that came through. And that was the same time that year, fucking the next door neighbor girl and my daughter tore my fucking Amazing Fantasy 15, which even though it wasn't pristine condition, it's still Amazing fucking Fantasy 15. And they ripped that, they folded it in half and bent it and tore it and were pulling
Liam over here reminded me why I don't want kids.
And I'm like, I went crazy over that. I was like, I
don't have the patience to respond to that in a loving way. So it's best I don't have children.
Oh man, it was really, I remember it happening on a live stream, and I'm like, you can see me staring with my eyes wide open in the background as they're tugging my Amazing Fantasy 15 between one another. And I had this moment where every part of my body wanted to turn around and scream and slap that child in the face and be like, what the fuck you doing? That's a fucking $40,000 book. But I'm like, I'm live on stream in front of everyone. I can't act that way or I'll be forever hounded as a horrible person. I just have to watch them destroy this book. And it was humiliating. But anyway, so I lost that year. And then.
Does anybody actually believe that? Does anybody here actually believe that Liam had a copy, a $40,000 copy of Amazing Fantasy 15 out on a bookshelf, on a desk, somewhere where children could fucking play with it? I don't remember that stream ever happening. It's possible it did. I don't know. But it wasn't Amazing Fantasy 15. Now, it could have been a reprint. It could have been I think they reprinted it in the 90s, 92 or 96. Off the top of my head, I'm not remembering right now. And it could have been a reprint. But that's certainly not worth the fucking $40,000. Dude, you don't have to say shit like that. You do not. This is a comic book stream. Why are you self-aggrandizing like this? He did almost say reprint Grammar Not C. He did. He kind of first he tripped over misprint and then it was reprint. But he met, kind of garbled his way past that. Yeah. Maybe he does have a copy of a copy. But he certainly doesn't have it anymore, because apparently the kids ruined it, ripped it all their shit. His $40,000 uninsured comic book got ruined. And then, this one, and I apologize that I didn't play the Risey animation. I realized, before I sat down that I didn't load it into OBS, and fuck if I was messing with anything else after I got everything almost right. And one day, I will be able to use this perfectly. Yeah. But this, dude, this one, I can't even with this one.
Let me show you this. So this is a couple of my buddies that made a movie. And I always sort of recommend it to
This
people.
is a porno, right?
Exactly. It's a porn. But It's a zombie movie. It's an Australian zombie movie, so it is a bit cringe. You're gonna get a bit of cringe. Your second film's not all that great. I was gonna be a guest star in the fucking live action series that they're working in, but because of the witness protection bullshit and like the move and everything, fucking we're advised not to do it. But they're working on a live action series at the moment. But I thought it would have been cool to be a zombie. But anyway,
Did you catch that? Did you all catch that? Am I the only one who heard Liam say he was in witness fucking protection? Witness protection. I am so beyond all of this. Like, dude, I know they kept you on a 72-hour hold. This time around, they should have committed you again. That may sound harsh, but one, if you were going to be a zombie in a TV series, you were going to be an extra. Because the zombies are always extra, not main characters. And two, you were never in witness protection. Because when you're saying you were in witness protection, you were all over the fucking internet under your own goddamn name. Nobody was after you, Liam. And if they were, you should have been off the fucking internet instead of arguing with people because they pointed out that you're full of fucking shit. Like, what the fuck? Honest to God. Witness fucking protection. Now, as far as the TV thing goes, the movie trailer that he showed was for a movie called Wormwood: Road of the Dead. It was released in 2014, and after the first movie, they did a trailer for a TV series that was initially released in 2017, and I saw it was available on a service called Mubi, like Tubi, but it's Mubi. According to their credit, it was made in 2019. And then I find an interview with the guy who did the movie, who directed it. And he's like, man, making a TV series is really fucking hard. So you know what they decided to do? They decided to make a movie instead. Wormwood: Chronicles of the Dead. The TV series is not being filmed, was not being filmed, is never gonna be fucking filmed. And you didn't have to worry about being in witness protection to go be an extra in a fucking zombie TV series filming that didn't exist. Yeah. Why? And instead, Liam, and I'm gonna say all this shit fucking publicly, because fuck doing it privately, at all, because he doesn't listen. So I'm gonna say it publicly, so you can all hear what I have to say. You need to stop, Liam. You need to stop and listen to yourself. And you need to stop and listen to the criticism, the actual criticism that you're receiving. Not the bullshit, oh, Liam's just full of crap. Not the Liam made his artist do push-ups naked or shirtless or whatever the fuck. Not Sin and his, stupid theories about how this attempt at self-deletion was fake. And just stop lying about things. It's not hard to be truthful. It's not. It is not difficult to tell people the fucking truth. And you know what? Maybe if you were telling the fucking truth, more people would like you. You'd have more support. But instead, we get these grandiose statements instead of a fucking comic book that is years overdue. And all of the problems you've had getting out this book are problems of your own fucking making. You can't help everybody in Comicsgate if your own fucking book is late. You want to emulate Ethan that fucking badly? Go ahead. But Ethan bends the truth. Ethan gives himself deniability when he says shit. You don't do that. Like, you don't. Now, all your old streams are gone, and I could probably, maybe somebody still has a stream where their child supposedly killed your copy of Amazing Fantasy 15. I don't know. Anything is fucking possible. But damn, bro. I want you to be happy. I want you to be mentally healthy. And you need to get some fucking help. Your wife would probably appreciate you getting some help and not scaring her and scaring your daughter the way you have been. Because that had to be scary as fuck for your wife. And pretty fucking terrifying for your daughter, even if nothing was said out loud. Because they know shit. That's all. Now, I know you live out in the middle of fucking nowhere. But there are health services, and there are mental health services, and you can have therapy by fucking Zoom. But I can't believe that they kept you the first time around, and this time around they didn't. I don't know. Maybe the Australian healthcare system is deteriorating that fucking quickly. But the whole thing, all of it, just made me so fucking angry. So angry. From all the corners, from the kings to the slums, the reaction was just gross. I know I keep using that word, but damn. Damn. Anyway. Crazy Scat says there's actually no official way to treat borderline personality disorder. If it is BPD, I don't know. I think he suffers, in my opinion, one of the symptoms is paranoid delusions. We see it all the time. From the hacking of the router to CPS was called. Well, if CPS was called and then a few days later you go on a stream talking out loud in public about how all you wanted to do was beat the child over a comic book is not a good look. Because that's why I don't believe CPS came and paid you a visit. So, I don't know. But you really, really, really fucking need some help, Liam. And you need to be honest. And you need to be truthful. And you need to stop with that they're all just trying to destroy my IRL life. You're on the fucking internet, dude. Nobody from Comicsgate or the slums is coming to your neighborhood. Maybe your neighbors don't like you either, and that's why you're getting harassed. I don't know. But if you exhibit the kind of behavior I saw over that weekend in Brisbane, in your real life, every day, when you roam around your fucking town and you communicate with your neighbors, then I could see where you might have an issue. Just saying. Is it unfair, Dark Gift? Really? I don't think so. I think it's a harsh fucking truth. That's all. It's just harsh. It's just the truth. And it's how I see things. That weekend made me dislike Liam. And I've never disliked Liam. I dislike a lot of you guys. Like, no offense to anybody in the chat. I dislike a lot of people in this ecosystem. From, I'm not even going to name names. We all know I dislike Ethan. Okay, I'll give you that. But this whole fucking thing was just so bad. Gets you kicked off Kings. The tracing didn't get you kicked off Kings. Think about that. Ethan fucking knew the whole time you were cheating. He didn't give a shit. He didn't give a shit that you traced this one. It was everything that happened after. Because even though I personally believe that Liam had every intention of self-deleting, nobody else does. Nobody. And they're going to give you shit for that forever. Forever. So. I don't have a cute animal picture because I was still trying to get the freaking Tony Katie thing wouldn't render properly, and I had to do it like 6 times, and some setting in my DaVinci Resolve got all fucked up. So I don't have the cute animal picture for the day. So you just have to look at my avatar. Thank you very much, everybody, for stopping by. I'm not really sorry if I hurt anybody's feelings. I'm beyond caring if I hurt somebody's feelings anymore. Probably for the last 3-4 months, I give 0 fucks anymore. But thank you all for stopping by. I will have Denali, the review of Denali's Immortal Mask up within the next week or so. Probably over on my other channel because it just sort of fits over there better than it's going to fit here. I promise, George. You all have a great night. Enjoy your week.